Indian economic updates. India's space sector, valued at approximately $8.4 billion in 2022, is projected to expand to $44 billion by 2033, reflecting more than a five-fold surge driven by the commercialization of satellite-enabled services and booming exports. A new report by Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry highlights a strategic shift from traditional hardware and launch missions toward monetizing downstream services, satellite communication, Earth observation, and navigation, in sectors ranging from agriculture and telecom to infrastructure and disaster management. Satellite communication alone could contribute $14.8 billion by 2033, while Earth observation services may account for $8 billion. India is eyeing an expansion of its share in the global space economy, currently at about 2%, to 8% by 2033, tapping into a global market forecast to reach $1.8 trillion by 2035. This growth is underpinned by a dynamic ecosystem led by ISRO, a burgeoning private sector, and nearly 200 startups, fostering innovation across satellite manufacturing, launch vehicles, and downstream applications. Institutional enablers like Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre and New Space India Limited are creating structured markets and streamlining procurement, heightening predictability and efficiency. Recent initiatives reinforce this momentum. The government unveiled a 10 billion rupee fund for space startups, and approval for Gaganyaan, India's human spaceflight program, and the Bharatiya Antariksh Station targets key milestones through the late 2020s and into the mid-2030s. However, funding challenges remain. Private sector investments dropped 55% to $59 million in 2024, although expectations of a rebound in 2025 persist amid renewed investor interest. As India positions itself for a five-fold expansion in its space economy, the combined thrust of structural reforms, startup vitality, and strategic investments underscores the country's ambition to become a global space technology powerhouse. The centre is finalizing a major incentive program worth 16,000 crore rupees to encourage domestic production of critical construction equipment, including tunnel boring machines, cranes and earth movers, in an effort to reduce import reliance and strengthen India's infrastructure development drive. According to officials, interministerial consultations are underway, and the scheme is expected to be launched in the next fiscal year. The initiative is designed to ease supply bottlenecks, promote indigenization, and ensure timely availability of equipment for large-scale infrastructure projects. Industry experts note that India currently imports nearly half of its construction and mining equipment components, mainly from China, Japan, South Korea, and Germany. This dependence on overseas suppliers often creates supply-side challenges, especially during global disruptions. The construction equipment industry grew 3% in FY25, supported by exports, but reported a 1% decline in domestic sales in the first quarter. Industry leaders argue that incentivizing local manufacturing is essential to build a stronger ecosystem, particularly as India embarks on ambitious projects such as metro expansions, bullet train corridors, mega port developments, and high-speed road networks. Analysts estimate that the localization level of the sector, currently below 50%, could rise to 70 to 80% over the next 5 to 7 years. This transition could create a $25 billion domestic market, generate savings of about $3 billion annually in foreign exchange, and support long-term resilience against price and supply fluctuations. Much of the advanced equipment, including hydraulics, specialized rigs, undercarriages and electronic control units, continues to be sourced from abroad. To address delays and cost pressures, engineering and procurement companies are optimizing existing fleets, entering into closer partnerships with vendors, and incorporating risk-sharing clauses into contracts. Sector stakeholders have also called for a production-linked incentive (PLI) scheme tailored for heavy equipment manufacturing, similar to those introduced in electronics and automobiles. As part of its infrastructure roadmap, India aims to quadruple port capacity by 2047, expand high-speed road networks to 200,000 kilometers, add new rapid rail and metro corridors, and advance bullet train projects. These initiatives are expected to sharply raise demand for indigenized construction machinery, making domestic capacity building a strategic priority. Tesla's board has proposed a record-breaking, performance-linked pay package for CEO Elon Musk, potentially worth up to $1 trillion over the next decade, igniting speculation that he could become the world's first trillionaire. The compensation hinges on aggressive targets including increasing Tesla's market capitalization from approximately $1 trillion to $8.5 trillion, literally reimagining the company's future. The package is structured into 12 tranches, each tied to operational and financial milestones, delivering 20 million vehicles total, securing 10 million paid full self-driving subscriptions, deploying 1 million robotaxis, and producing 1 million Optimus humanoid robots, while reaching $400 billion in annual earnings. Analysts and industry watchers see Tesla's valuation path largely driven by AI and robotics. ARK Invest projects that the robotaxi business alone could be worth nearly $951 billion annually, while Musk has touted that robots might account for 80% of Tesla's future value. Despite Tesla's current hurdles, including declining EV sales and rising competition, leadership argues that Musk's retention is vital amid this strategic pivot. The board approved an interim $29 billion stock award in August to secure his leadership during the transition period. Critics question the sheer scale of the package and its implications for governance and dilution, especially in light of Tesla's move from Delaware to Texas, where shareholder challenge thresholds are now higher. Shareholders will vote on the proposal at the Tesla's annual meeting. If fully enacted, Musk's ownership could exceed 25%, further cementing his control and potentially crowning him the first trillionaire. Before India revoked a key transshipment facility for Bangladesh, Dhaka had already taken steps that negatively affected land-border trade. In March, Bangladesh's interim government, led by Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus, closed 3 land ports with India and suspended another, citing inadequate infrastructure. It also halted yarn imports from India via land ports, despite strong opposition from major business chambers. This move, seen as benefiting Pakistani imports, risks hurting Bangladesh's garment sector, which relies heavily on Indian yarn. Experts warn it could severely impact small and medium enterprises. India's transshipment facility allowed Bangladesh to export goods to third countries via Indian land customs stations. This facility has now been revoked, although trade with Bhutan and Nepal remains unaffected.